Hello there, my staratlas people. It's me, the MetaVerse Explorer. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about staratlas. This is just a small update because there is a little bit of a patch that's coming out that is going to change the way the economics of the game a little bit, and you need to know about it, especially if you like to move between the different factions or move between wallets. You need to know, man. First off, thanks Siggy. This is a really marvelous video, as always, that you do give to the staratlas community. Really appreciate it. I wish I had the ability to do all of this stuff. I don't know if you have an editor, man, but it looks good all the time. Now, let's move on to the big changes that we're going to be discussing today. First thing, I want to tell you about the meetup that's coming up very soon, Solana Crossroads. This is, of course, a 2-day event, community organized Solana conference between May 10th and 11th. It's May 10th for me now in Australia, but of course I'm in the future, so it hasn't quite happened yet. Okay, of course I'll cover it when as they come out. What am I telling you this? Why do you need to know, right? Because what Funcracker has found out is what the team may be displaying at the Solana Crossroads events, and I've highlighted it here for you there. A new video will be shown with contents unknown. I highly suspect it will be like the progress that the team has made so far, because they usually kind of show that, and something to hype up the community for the next year or so and what they're currently working on. It'll be a very high production quality video. Now, of course, we do expect, and I fully expect, for them to release the crew cards, either release or show off the crew cards, because as I said in the last video, I think the team is creating an automatic, let me bring up the music again so it's nice in the background. I think the team is creating an artificial scarcity of crew, because crew has been one of the big blockers for you to have a good experience in the game. Previously, it used to be SDUs, right? But that's nearly infinite now. And now it's crew. So I think they will be definitely announcing the crews, or at least announcing or showing off whatever. And then an announcement will be made regarding the availability of crew if everything goes well. So yeah, this will be the crew app, maybe. Maybe it might just be the sale of the crew through packs and the opening, for example, of it, but it may not be the actual application on your mobile phone for you to go and run and walk and do everything with it. Maybe that's still a little bit of time left over. Now, of course, this happened also. This is Showroom IRL in Istanbul, and everyone did, a couple people from the community did go for it, and this is a small picture that I managed to get. Of course, there's Michael in the middle here with a few other community members, for example, from Coexist over here. Very awesome. Very good to see Michael getting in with the community, you know. Now, what I want to talk to you, this is going to be a quick one, so let's keep going. Starbase changes, right? This Dominic just released this in the Discord. I thought you should know because my job is to keep you on track of things I think you need to know. Hey everyone, thank you so much for the feedback we've been given on Starbase, and people have been having some feedback, not being honest here. Some people are not very upset, but I would say upset by the economic changes. I think we recently run a poll in a fear now where people were saying, it's just no fun, right? It's no fun at all, and like we're competing against each other. I'm competing against Funcracker. You're competing against me because we're all going after the same LP pool, right? We're going after the same thing. So there's no collaboration, right? Instead, we're competing with each other. We understand there's some uneasiness spread throughout the community while we've been waiting to hear about adjustments. We get it, which is why we're here today to announce changes that we're planning to announce later, closer to release. Now, big changes. Here we go. Changes in the next 24, 48 hours, 2 to 4 days, whatever. Increase the total daily Atlas emissions to 6 million Atlas. Now, we were previously at 4.5 million Atlas, and this was like 1.5 per faction, right? So obviously that is a big increase, big increase. There's going to be a lot more Atlas coming into circulation. The question is, where's all that supply gonna go? Decrease Atlas price? Not sure. It's always a double-edged sword, you know, when the community asks for something. I think now we have an increased supply of Atlas emissions coming into the ecosystem. Where is all that going? Is it actually being extracted from the ecosystem? Like, is there going to be higher crafting costs, for example, or where is that supply gonna go? Anyway, I don't have a pony in this horse race, whatever you want to call it. Let's go to the next thing. Increase the LP rewards for supplying SDUs to 1.1k from 450. Now, this is a massive increase. This is a double increase of the LP. Now, of course, it's very easy to get SDUs now, I would say, because the cap on it has been massaged a lot. But of course, it's still a definite number on the ROI on this. So I think doubling the LP for SDUs, I think that might come back and bite people in the butt, but we'll see. Okay, we'll see. Now, Starbase upgrades will now persist into the future. Wow. Note, while they will persist now, we can and will still change the map in terms of size and number of starbases as we see appropriate. And of course, there's a crafting fee update. The crafting fee updates are always going to happen because they are a running, they are a number based on an aggregate previous in history, right? So they'll take the average of like the last week or 2 weeks, and then they give it the new crafting fee, okay? Now, this one is what is very interesting. Starbase upgrades will now persist into the future. Does that mean into new game IDs? Does that mean there will never be a game ID? I'm not sure. Or if they mean the starbases will never degrade and go down from a level 2 to a level 1. I never thought they did that in the first place, so I'm not quite sure what they mean there, if it's going to be in every new game ID, right? So that means at some point, if we don't get combat and for us to kill these starbases, they'll just always go up and up and up and up until every starbase is a level 5, right? Because we don't have combat yet, and we don't have starbase combat yet, at least. Now that's one part of the changes, but the next parts we should know of. Atlas emissions, changes coming in the days to weeks, not right now, not on the next day. Atlas emissions will now scale with starbase upgrades within a faction. Very interesting. Each starbase upgrade will increase faction daily Atlas emissions. Full release details will be public when this change goes live. Changes to upkeep of the starbases. When upkeep levels of food are high, this is a very good change, I think. When upkeep levels of food are high, low crafting speeds are faster. So they have like a little inverse ratio of if you have high food, your crafting is faster. If you have low food or faster. Crafting speeds are faster, slower. And upkeep burn rates are faster. Oh wait, no, I'm confused. Does that make sense? Let me read that again, guys. Changes to upkeep. When upkeep levels of food are high, low crafting speeds are faster, slower. And upkeep burn rates are faster, slower. And upkeep burn rate... Man, I'm confused. Are you guys confused? Does that make sense? And upkeep burn rates are faster. Okay, I might have to deliberate on this a little bit. I might have to just experiment and put in like craft like million fuel and see what happens on a high star base and on a low food star base. Yeah, we'll have to see. I'm not quite sure on this. Sorry, should have read this ahead of time. Adding a game resource export tax. Now this is the big thing, okay? Now there was a bit of drama before with Bodhi, or I'm not going to say his name, whoever else, right? About changing factions because you have a ton of resources, right? Changing factions and going to take another faction's atlas or adding your LP to their faction so that you can collect some of that atlas in that faction. Now, people are upset about this because some single faction DAX are like, you're coming in and you're taking all the atlas that's meant for us in this faction. Well, like really guys, it's not your atlas, right? You choose to be on there, so you have to compete with anyone else who wants to come on there. Anyway, let's not get into the drama, okay? So basically what they're doing here is they're adding a resource export tax. This is a huge thing, I think. This is kind of the first base tax that applies to everyone if you want to change factions. How's it work? There will be a fee to export goods from the game, which will make hopping factions more difficult. More details closer to release. Note, this change is only intended to hit those constantly hopping factions, not the everyday player. This can come in the form of two options. One, wait for local markets to implement this change, or two, have the option of paying a tax or going through a waiting period of X hours. So I think having the waiting period of X hours doesn't really matter, right? Doesn't really care. You can just put, schedule it now and then come back in 2 days or 1 week and then do it. No, I don't think that's going to work. There has to be an actual monetary cost for this to be effective. That's what I think. But at the same time, people will argue, no, why the hell are you taxing me from moving my resources from A to B? This is part of the game, right? There is no right or wrong. It's about what's best for everyone. And this is obviously for whales, and they do say here these whales are constantly hopping factions, not the everyday player. So what do they define as an everyday player who's changing faction or transferring resources from A to B, this wallet to B wallet, like once a week? Is that an everyday player? If it is, then that's fine, right? But if they're talking about whales can also look like everyday players because they'll just transfer only once a week, and then they'll put in their LP or their resources once a day because they've been there already, right? So I think no matter how you try and do this, there will be a way around it. It's just like that. Everything in games, you put out something and then these guys will be like, no, okay, well, I'm not going to go this way. I'm going to go that way on top of it. I'm going to divert and go above. So it's very interesting, right? But I like it. Let's see what these changes do. I'm not a drama person, so I think the team are doing what they think is right? Because they're listening to the community. And at least that's one positive, right? So yeah, that's it for now, guys. Let's go and see some pictures. I'm going to take myself away so we can see the Busan Pulse, which is now in-game. Very interesting stuff. It looks cool, but I don't think I like this ship myself. It does look very cool, very sleek. It'd be nice to play on it. And it seems like it'd be high in shields. I can just imagine the top of it having like a shield that comes out. And the UI, the user interface does look pretty cool there. Now let's have a look at the map and see what is happening, guys. Crafting. I'm always upset at crafting because I can never craft when I need to because no one is supplying food to the starbases, and I'm supplying food to the starbases when I can. If I have something that's got 30 minutes left, I'll put in 1 or 2 or 3 million of food and keep it running, So you can see this, of course, is still running. You can see some of the starbases crafting and upgrading stopped. Crafting and upgrading stopped. I love this because you can see where... Now, this is an example of what someone would do to swap factions. When you see that the only starbase is no longer crafting, right? You can move the rest of your resources just out, right? Out of this wallet, transfer it to this wallet, and then deposit it into an Ustura wallet. And then you can just start crafting there because it's going, So there will be a tax on that now. So of course it works out, is that tax worth it? Can you just craft right now? All a bit of math. So very interesting. Mud is still very strong. People are really going to MRZ4. They're upgrading it to level 2 with nearly 10 million of cargo going back and forth. Very strong Mud presence. Mud has the highest amount of players, I would say. So that was interesting, but what I really wanted to see was the Hall of Fame and the updates to the Hall of Fame. Now you guys know I'd like to not be biased, right? I got no pony in this race. I say it again, and wrongly again. But the Hall of Fame and the Hall of Shame is actually a pretty good indicator of who's helping and who's extracting from the system. Basically, the Hall of Fame is like who is actually losing a lot of Atlas by helping the starbases keep going, and the Hall of Shame is who is just putting an LP but without a lot of upkeep or a lot of food, for example. And you can see the Hall of Fame here. Athia Industries, these are different wallets, okay, and it's tagged to a DAC, right? And they don't measure people who aren't tied to a deck. So Athia Industries number 1, Club number 2, Athia Industries number 3, Midas, Athia Industries number 5. Like, come on, what's the best guild out there? Hall of Fame. And we're not cherry picking this data, okay? This is just the people in the community. Just so happens Athia is is in the top 5 of Hall of Fame, top 3 in the top 5 of Hall of Fame, right? Now let's look at the Hall of Shame. Now this is very interesting, okay? Coexist is at the top. My God, we have one wallet that's doing a lot of Atlas claims, but they've contributed nearly 0, right? The Denemy, not sure what DAC that is. The Phoenix DAC, as well as the Phoenix DAC again. 2 wallets from Phoenix DAC. They're constantly mining, and not contributing a lot to the upkeep of Starbases. So yeah, it's very interesting, right? Very interesting. I love the blockchain. You can't lie. So that's it, my friends. Just a quick 15-minute video. Watch out for the economic changes. This might affect some of your play style in the game, especially if you're doing one thing or another. Definitely doesn't affect me that much because I don't transfer between A and B wallet. I like to use Sly, leave it there, don't touch it, and come back in like 3 days and refuel or do something else that I need. All right, my friends, just a quick update for you. Thank you very much as always. Ciao for now.